rule this fucking
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Japanese Daily, where a man who has a lot of experience with Japan and Japanese people and even Korean recently can maybe give you some advice about your Japanese as if he were sitting in the back of the bus. And in the case that his Japanese advice was a little bit wrong, somebody will probably correct it in the live stream. Welcome. Today I want to talk about a very sensitive topic. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. And this topic is something that came up in a discussion. It's just a thing that I thought that I had, and it seems disturbing. But yes, if you are ugly or not super attractive, things are going to be different for you. I want to explain what that is once we get started. Once I start, let me get the better music going here.
Why should it matter when all you want is to be loved, is to be loved?
All right. So I was having a discussion with one of the guys that works with me. Wait, is my music still going? I'm so sorry. Here we go. Yeah, I was having a discussion, and he was saying that he would watch Japanese YouTubers. The discussion was Japanese wives and how maybe they seem so great, but when you marry them, all they care about is the money, right? Or how much you earn, you know? And I said, I guess, you know, and then the discussion came up, well, when wives, you know, when you get married, you know, people they're on their best behavior to get that person, right? Like if you like a girl, you're going to try to be nice to her and, you know. But then I had this thought. What if you're not a catch? What if a girl isn't trying to get you because you're hot or rich? They just like you. I think life is different if you don't start a marriage where one of the people is uber hot. Does that make sense? So, for example, I'm not hot, right? When I got married, my teeth were much more crooked, for example, okay? And you could say, hey, maybe I was handsome at that age. I was like 22. When I didn't smile, we could say, oh, yeah, this guy was handsome. But I wasn't a catch that you were going to try to get. So the woman that married me wasn't on her best behavior. She was just being a normal human being, right? So we didn't get married. She got the catch, and then, you know, she turned into all about money or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to say this in the exact way that I'm trying to say it. But if you are short versus tall, rich versus poor, black versus white, brown versus pure ghost level white, right? Things are going to be different for you. If you've got blue eyes versus brown eyes, things are going to be different for you. And I'm talking specifically in the only arena that I really have probably a lot of data in my head, and that is Japan, okay? It's Japan. So I'll give you another example. I have a friend, he used to live in Japan. I've known him now 20 years probably. He lives in Reno now. And when he lived here, he started eventually not liking Japan because of racism. And I remember saying to him, like, what are you talking about? There isn't really racism in Japan. If anything, there's what I would call anti-racism, which now I know is gaijin privilege, like being a foreign person privilege. And even that's a loaded thing because, well, not all foreigners have that privilege, okay? But he somehow interpreted a lot of things with racism. Now, these are things that I never thought about in this way. So, for example, if he would sit on the train, he says people would stare at him. I was like, okay. And he's like, and then they wouldn't sit next to me like I was diseased. I'm like, okay. Or maybe they would stare at me for super long, way longer than I wanted. Or, I was like, dude, but you have blue eyes. That you have stunning blue eyes. I don't. I got these, I'm filled with shit eyes. I've got brown eyes. No one really cares about my brown eyes. Now, they are kind of hazel, so sometimes if someone gets close, they're like, oh, that's interesting. But the blue eyes you can see from far away, so they were crazy to the Japanese people. They're not crazy, but just really rare. Also, he's tall, taller than me. So I think it's worthy of a stare. It would be like, look, if a girl in a bikini with a hot, amazing body got on the train all of a sudden and was different than all the other people on the train, you think some guys aren't going to look at that? They're going to look at that. I shouldn't say that. That objectifies the female. But I think you get my point, right? And the example that I gave to him was, well, if a green person got on the train, you would do one of these things where you're looking at them the whole time. And the reason they don't sit next to foreigners, I've always thought is just because they don't want to speak English. It's too much. They'll eventually sit there. I think, but it's going to be the last seat, and they got to be really wanting to sit there. So I don't think that's racism. I just think it's I don't want to speak English, and you are a unique looking face. I don't have that because I have a very normal face. I am also like 5'7", I think, so I'm not exactly tall. Okay. The only time I ever get a lot of attention, if I ever do at all, is, well, not the only time. I'm going to give you two like very specific times. Is if I'm speaking really good Japanese, it's like, oh, wow. I've had people like, oh, wow. When I'm really getting into a topic and I end up speaking too loud, maybe they're going to notice that. Okay. Another one is, and I think I might have said this yesterday, but it used to happen a lot more when I was younger, and I thought, oh, maybe Japan doesn't do this anymore. Maybe, it's not so, it just doesn't happen anymore because of exposure to foreigners, in the media more or in their city. But I was on the bullet train, and I was coming from a country area, which is the key part, and there was a lot of children on that train, like high school girls and boys. And the moment I turned into that car, it was just like, hi, hello, super excited to see me. Because I, to them, am something they've never seen, right? So it's a special thing that they're seeing that. And every time I got up, two particular girls, one particular girl in the sitting of two, was just so excited. She was just so excited, and I'm like, I felt a little bit weird because if I was younger, I would have enjoyed that attention. But now that I'm older, I can't lean into that attention like I used to be able to. I can't like stop and talk to the young girl, right? Like when I was 17 or 16 on the train, oh my God, that was like amazing. But now I'm like, oh no, I'm 50. This girl's much younger than my youngest daughter, obviously. It's awkward. So I actually eventually, when I got off the train, I said my, bye, as they said, bye, hi, bye, whatever they were saying. And then I went further beyond that car to wait to get off so that I wouldn't meet them in the car because I didn't want it, weirdly. So I think my point was with this friend that I have, he's had a condition in his whole life, right? Like he could die any moment, this guy, right? But he's totally healthy, totally fine. He's visiting Japan, he's taking these risks, but he's had this condition. So that's another thing I thought, if a girl marries, I was trying to, I guess, assure him like, hey, you're probably not going to find a bad girl because you're already filtering out the bad ones just by being shorter. He's short like me, not being white, right? Because that's the typical American white. And he actually said when he wears his mask, people sometimes think he's just a darker skinned Japanese. And I said also, because that's the ideal. When you say you're American, there's an ideal. He's like, oh yeah, that seems true because there's a YouTuber, because I said, I bet Japanese people when they go to America are shocked that it's not all blonde hair, blue eyes, that it's literally just a bunch of Latinas. We're basically a brown hair country. We're not a blonde hair country. It's actually mostly Latina if you're in California or Nevada. It's just, and that's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. Your blonde hair, blue eye person that you see, or your bombshell girl that you see in a movie isn't roaming the streets like you might expect, right? Like if a foreigner comes to Japan, he's expecting to see Asian girls, Asian men walking around the street, and they get that. But if you think Americans are blonde hair, blue eyed, and you go to America, you're like, oh my God, where are all of them? They're not. They don't. Oh, and also, where are the thin people? Everyone's fat in America. Like that's like, I'm telling you right now. If you come to Japan, you'll be like, oh my God, everyone is so thin. You go to America, you're like, oh my God, everyone is so fat. We just have a different diet, right? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's just how it is, right? So I said to him, I says like, because you're outside of the norm of what they think, whoever likes you, and I'm not trying to be mean to them, I'm saying it's gonna like you for a much stronger reason than how you look, who you are, with your physical attributes, right? Or your national heritage, or the money that you have, because he certainly doesn't have a lot of money, and he's got another bonus that he's got a condition that he has to deal with, right? But this guy's awesome. I think he's gonna find someone. I have no doubt. And the girl he's gonna find, the woman he's gonna find, will be amazing if he ever wants to get married. But just made me think, when you're not uber attractive, I think things are better. I'm not even saying you're gonna have a bad life. I'm actually saying I think it's better to not be super attractive. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking today when I was talking to him on the phone, amongst a bunch of other things. But all right, let's see what we got here. George, how's the typhoon? Shimiwaza, this typhoon was not a typhoon. It rained a bit. It was worse in Fukuoka Busan. One day in Busan, it just rained. Here, this wasn't a typhoon. It wasn't. I don't know what it was. It was just a little bit of rain. I brought my umbrella. I debated even using it on the way, but my screen was getting wet as I was playing Pokemon on the way to the station. And I thought that's going to make it really slippery as I try to shoot this ball to catch this Pokemon. And I'm trying to get an excellent shot. So I want to make sure I can do it. So I poked open the umbrella there. That's about the level of it. And then by the time I got to the next station, which was like 2 stations away, was nothing. Hey, don't forget, guys, by the way, if you are in Japan, we are meeting tomorrow at the Hachikoguchi of the Shibuya station at 5. Okay? Probably not going to be anyone there. There's probably going to be... I don't think I've given it enough time for there to be a lot of people. So if you come, it might just be me, Yuki, and I think... what's her name? Oh, my God. Kira. What's her name? She'll pop up. She said she's going to be there. I don't remember her name. She's a YouTuber. I don't remember. She's a small YouTuber that we've talked about before. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. I'm sure she'll be in the chat. By the way, hey, Big Perm 586. Your name came up today. Is that weird? Your name came up today. Are you freaking out a little bit? I met with my friend Tim. He's a long time. A long time ago he used to watch me. He doesn't watch me anymore. He's not a fan anymore, which is fine. I definitely I don't have as many fans as I used to have, so that's fine. As I age out of this YouTube community here. But he used to watch. He's like, I said, yeah, I'm doing live streams recently. He goes, oh yeah, sorry, I haven't watched. I'm like, dude, it's expected. That's fine. And he said, is that trucker guy still coming in? I was like, oh yeah, Big Perm 56. He's like, yeah. I said, yeah, he is. Really? I said, yeah, he's still there. Yeah, he was a good guy. I like that guy. He used to come on those shows that he had where there was nobody. Like I used to run the camera. I used to just start the show. I can't remember what I called that stream, but it was like No Man stream or something like that. And I would just like set my headphones down, walk away. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Is he buddies with Debito Arudo? I actually know who Debito is. I've never met that guy, but no, he's not. He is not. This is only like his, I think, third time or second time to Japan, my friend. Big Perm 586 says, everyone sees the world through their own perceptive lens. It's true, but you don't think about it. I think, let me be fair. not fair. Let me be direct. I don't think I really thought about it. I thought about it in bits and pieces, but you know, sometimes I give advice to people and I have to think, well, wait a minute. Are you handsome? Are you beautiful? Because, you know, you guys all know Mike. I'll just say his name, but Mike from Adventures in Asia, that guy can pick any girl he wants. He's got a look that girls love. So he has a very high level of a girl that he would like that he would accept as a girlfriend. Okay. Me, as an uglier man, literally have a very low bar for women. Now, I happened to really, really luck into an amazing wife. Like I really lucked in. Okay. Who definitely above me in looks and above me as like I don't still to this day, I'll say to my wife, like, how did you marry me? Like, what were you thinking? And I really, really mean it. You know, it could be that she was already past 30. She'd only had one boyfriend. She thought she liked me. Well, I'll give you that. And she's past 30. She's like, I don't know, maybe it's time. And you know what? She said she was prepared to go back to Japan at any time. Matter of fact, I'll give you a big secret. We've been married 29 years. Her money is still not my money. It's separate in Japan. She literally, if we broke up, she'd literally be okay. She could go back to Japan. Of course, she'd be okay because she get half of everything that we've earned. Like we have a good amount of money that we've earned, you know, over our 30-year marriage. So, you know, homes and whatnot. She'd get money, but she still keeps that money separate. You know, never know when it's not going to work out. Man. Maybe another decade or so will be good. Ryan K says, how do you respond when the waiter or waitress follows you outside the restaurant and bows multiple times? Is there something I need to do back? What? They follow you out the restaurant? Did you pay? Where are you where they're following you out of the restaurant and bowing? I mean, just bow back and say, arigatou gozaimasu, whatever, and walk away. I don't think you gotta think too deep about it. They're just doing good customer service, what they consider customer service. So that's kind of creepy, isn't it? A little bit creepy, right? Weird. To quote Rachel Zegler, is that her name? Weird. Do you think I'm going to answer that question, Guy 2015? Just think about this thing that you're asking me to answer. No disrespect. Hey George, what are some of your favorite apps for learning Japanese other than From Zero? None. They don't exist. First of all, I haven't learned Japanese in a long time. And if let's say I had a favorite app, I'm essentially promoting my competition and saying, go get these guys, not the thing that I spent my entire life building, the book series that I spent my entire life building. Big Perm 586, not 56, 586, says physical attraction is the start, but a deep emotional connection is the key to successful relationships. Ja, das ist richtig. Big Perm 586 says, for us average or less than average guys, your best bet is to have one hell of a personality. And I think that's why every time I meet a sort of like bigger girl, like an overweight girl, they have the best personalities, just really great personalities. Blue says average Asian marriage. What? I missed the thing right before that. Shimewaza says, I've had the follow out of the restaurant experience many times. Yeah, just do as George says. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been followed out of a restaurant, ever. Like, the only memory I have of even ever being followed out of a store was when I left my gloves in the store. That was it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go get my gloves. And that's a moment, like that's a small moment that I even talk about in I think it's Kanji from Zero Book 2 maybe, or Japanese from Zero Book 5, or the new version of Japanese from Zero Book 1. I don't remember, it's in one of those books. The lady came out and she said, Onisan. And it was the first time in my life, I think I was like 16, 14, 15, I don't know, that anyone addressed me in Japanese as they would address a Japanese person. She didn't obviously know from behind that I was a foreigner, but it felt so inclusive to be called Oni-san. I was really happy. Instead of sa or excuse me, like I was called Oni-san. And another time in a similar story, on the train, a little kid called me an oji-san, which means man, instead of gaijin-san. And I really liked it. I was really happy to hear that. Why do you get two beds? More room? There's just a bunch of junk on this bed you can't see behind the wall. If I can get two beds, it normally means a bigger room. And it gives me more room to lay things out. Because before every stream, this room is a complete mess. Well, it's actually a thing that's happening a lot now. There's a lot of echo plan rooms where they don't clean the room. But even if they do clean the room, I never get cleaning. I'm in my filth for like 6 days because it doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't use a new towel every day at house. I literally have a towel, I use it, hang it up, use it the next day. Now, granted, I live in Las Vegas, so it's really dry there. So the towel's dry right away. Maybe it's a problem. Maybe you should change it more here. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know nowadays. I don't remember when I was a kid what I would do. But I don't think I changed my towel every single day. And would I change my sheets every day? No. Just make my bed, right? You do that for a month, 2 months. Trust me, you don't want to see my bed at home. I probably haven't changed that damn thing for years. Not true. I haven't even owned that house for a year. And it's definitely been changed, but I was being a little bit exaggerating. I was being exaggerating, guys. Baxter says, hey, George, I remember in one of your videos, someone asked you how you knew Japanese and you answered Okusan. I answered Okusan? I don't think I would have answered that. Would it have better to have answered Tsuma? Okay, I want to address that particular thing, but before that, I want to address the logic of that. I actually hate when people think my Japanese is because I'm married to a Japanese woman. When I say, oh, I've been married, X many years, right? And they go, dakara konna ni hanaseru nda ne. I'm like, no, how do you think I married her? I already was fluent in Japanese. I had already done interpreting work. I had done a lot in my life already. I lived in Japan already 9 years and dated a girl for 4 and other girls like for various times that were all Japanese. And now I was working as a tour guide for Japanese people. Then I met her. But you can't say that in a quickie introduction. So it ends up being just a thing that I hate. Okusan is not why I speak Japanese. Okusan's why maybe I keep speaking, or maybe one of the reasons I kept getting better because I got to speak it every day. But it's not the reason why I speak Japanese. No, it's a lot of effort on my part. A lot of loving Japan. Kanji flashcards. Going to Asaka Yui concerts. Watching Japanese TV. Traveling all over Japan when I was younger. Working various part-time jobs. There's just so many things that I did. So let's address that. Now, as for the Okusan thing. Till this day, I still always say, watashi no okusan. And once I realized that, oh, wait a minute, I thought, because it's in our book, it's like, okusan is your own wife. Or not your own wife, it's someone else's wife, okusan, right? And tsuma could be like your own wife, or kanai, your own wife. And I never say that. And then I was like, oh man, I realized I'm always saying that. And when I was interpreting one time, when I started talking about my okusan, I said, oh, you know what? I always do that. Is that weird? And they're like, no. Some people say that all the time. It's normal. You could say, watashi no okusan. It's totally fine. It's not weird to say that. Just like you can say, watashi no otosan, watashi no okasan. You can say, watashi no okusan. It's not weird. I don't think I've ever said tsuma. Ever. It's just the way that I learned. I don't say it. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Like, because I know Japanese people say tsuma ga, my wife. I don't use it. Kanai, I'm gonna make it look like I'm cool and don't like it because it means in the house. Kanai, in the house, and I feel like that's rude. But if I said that, I'd be lying because I don't think about it at that level. Because okusan means the one behind you. It's like oku, the one in the back, and I don't think that's very, very friendly to the female race, right? The female race, are they a race? So no, you can say okusan. Where was I? Hang on. Let me try to get the comments back on the screen. I changed my small monitor today, so give me a second. Where is this vert monitor? Hang on. Let me see if I can't. Give me a second. It's this. No, it's not this monitor. It's this monitor. Actually, it's different now. Yeah. Give me a second. This is gonna be weird. It'll be weird for a second. Okay, and now I need to unlock it. Move it around. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I went to get another one of those small screens so that my daughter could have one, and then they had a bigger one. And I was like, oh my god, this bigger one's cooler. I could put more things on the screen. I could have more controls on the screen. So I bought it. All right. Now, oh shoot, it's kind of weird if I do this. Now I'm not in the center anymore. Let me think if I need to make this. Let me duplicate this. I'm gonna call this phone cam. Let's call it phone cam 2 for now. And then I'll move my iOS camera to be more in the center. Although now we can't see the very cool outside that I had planned. All right. So now, all right. Were you talking about, Blue says, were you talking about having separate bank accounts with Mountain, or something? Is that what that means? Or something? I don't know what SMTN means. I'm imagining it's something. Well, we have separate bank accounts, but she doesn't earn separately, so it doesn't matter. Like, we just use it as like a folder in our bank. So the company pays her money, I get paid money, but it's all the same pool of money, right? So her salary is just we're paying for our 2 cars with it. That's about it. Gioni said, did you make a video with Mike? How's his Japanese coming along? Mike's Japanese is coming along very nicely. I'm very happy with his Japanese. He's very, very smart. So he picks up on language things. You know, there's a topic I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So tune in for that. If I remember it, it's going to be, and remind me if I don't. Actually, there's a couple of you that need to ask a question because I told you to ask tomorrow if you're here. If you're here now, make sure you ask because I kind of left the stream before I answered those questions. But tomorrow, my topic will be being confidently wrong. That's the topic. Ryan says to Shimewaza, he says, it happened a few times after Izakaya. They were so nice, so I didn't want to be disrespectful. I bowed back and said, arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, I guess I've seen this, but I don't think I've ever been a part of it. You know why? Because I go to McDonald's. I actually don't go to those type of restaurants. That's the issue. That's what it is. Chelsea Bear says, would I ever make a video with any of the J YouTubers? And if you would, who would it be? There's one guy that I really like. Please notice me, senpai. Shibata. I love Shibata. He'd be a cool guy to do a video with. Let's see if I can find him. Shibata. Oh my god, Shibata YouTube. Let's see. Is this his name? Kazuya? Nope. Hang on. I think I gotta type it in Japanese. Shibata. I think I gotta like lengthen it. There is this guy here. Pro Wrestling Shibatar. So this is a guy that actually I should probably recommend more when I talk about things that are fun in Japanese. Oops, hang on. I don't like. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix this screen here. Give me a second. I'll do a little bit of work fixing screens here, guys. So hang on. I want phone cam. Oh, I need to just fix phone cam to not have this because phone cam 2 has it now. So let me delete that. Yeah, there we go. And then if I go back to this screen, there. Ah, nice. Okay, cool. All right, so Shibata, let's, I guess I'm not subscribed with this channel. But this guy, I just like how he talks.
どうもライジンハイ柴田です。ちょっとこするんですけど、木村フィリップ稔の例のドーピングの件がですね、多方面で話題を呼んでおりまして。
Okay, there's one thing he said in the beginning. ちょっとこするんだけど I wonder if he means agitate. I'm gonna agitate a bit because he talks about this guy and this doping issue, and that he had. I don't know this. I don't Philip something or other. I don't know this issue. I haven't seen videos in a long time from this guy, so I don't know his connection that he might have with him. But I wonder if I just never heard someone open with that. ちょっとこするんだけど he's not saying こうする. I'm gonna do this. Let's go back and just listen. Oops, I guess I got hit.
ちょっとこするんですけど。
ちょっとこするんですけど So I'm gonna look up gshow.org and we're gonna look up こする because I think it means to agitate in this case. Oh my god, this screen. Okay, こする. Sorry, I have a really it's hard for me to type. I have too many things happening over here. Okay, there we go. To rub, to scrub, to scrape, right? So that's what I'm thinking he's doing. That's my guess. Now let's see if he had subtitles. I doubt it. God.
ちょっとこするんですけど、木村
Yeah. ちょっとこするんだけど
フィリップ稔の例のドーピングの件がですね。
Okay, this is a little bit of a lesson here. But when the Japanese say 例の something, it means the previously talked about, the thing that we all know about. 例の. Like you might just be able to say, like let's say you were talking to let's say you're talking to a friend about a surprise. I'm Spanish all of a sudden. Surprise. You're talking about a surprise birthday party, okay? And then the person that comes into the room is the person you're going to do the birthday party for. So you want to say, let's talk about that previously talked about thing. You say, ちょっと例の話なんですけど、例の話 or 例の件, like that previous thing that we talked about.
多方面で話題を呼んでおりまして。
So he's read the topic from a variety of directions.
そしてなんかいろんな格闘家の人たちが結構コメントを出していてですね。
So I've never seen 格闘家, but I'm 100% sure it's like commentator but the fact that this is like 戦う, this is a fight word, 格闘家, let's say it doesn't mean journalist. It must mean more like agitator, I'm guessing. Let's see, 格闘家, this is a new word for me. But based on the content, I don't think it's a positive word. Yeah. Let me get this over here. 格闘家. Martial artist, never mind. I thought it was that actually even makes more sense to have fight in there. Martial artist. Okay, my guess was that it was like some sort of negative commentator, but it turns out it means martial artist. Okay, let's see if I can. This is my new little screen, by the way, where I can see your comments. And now I've added my current screen so I don't have to figure out, oh, am I on the right screen? I get your comments, and then I also got my Spotify list so I can stop and start very easily without always having to flip things around. Okay. Okay, let me just get this in there. All right. Okay, 格闘家. Hey, new word. That's a new word for me. So, 格闘家の人たちが結構コメントを出しててですね. So, a lot of martial artists have been putting out quite a bit of comments.
そして、今回の問題がなんかより深刻味を増してきたというか。
So this current problem has it's created a bigger issue than it needs to be. Shinkoku, I remember, God, I used this actually word caused me a big problem back in the day. But shinkoku means like a serious issue. But I don't know what shinkoku means. But I think what that is it's when you take an adjective, you can make it into a noun or make it like ness. So shinkoku mi is like graveness. So let's look up shinkoku. I believe that means grave. Please mean that. Serious grave. Yeah. Oof. Okay, so shinkoku. But I don't think mi is going to show up here. But it means like ness, graveness, right? And masu means to increase.
結構その闇が根深い案件だったこと。
Wow. Yami ga nebukai anken. I gotta think about this one. Yami is like, it's a dark thing. It's I'm not gonna look at what any of you guys say because I know Shimewaza is gonna give me the answer without me looking. It's Yami, vitriol, sarcasm, something like along those lines. Nebukai means deep roots, and anken, that's like a proposal. Yami ga nebukai anken datta. So I don't know. Let's look it up. Yami. Let's see how he speaks good Japanese. Yeah, darkness, right? I said it was something dark, right? Black mark. Okay, so it's not sarcasm. I think I'm thinking iyami. Yeah. Cutting remark, right? Sarcastic comment. Okay, good. So yami. And then what was the other word? I'm not gonna look. I try to remember. It was nebukai. Deep rooted is my guess. Deep rooted. Okay. Anken. Anken is, what did I say it meant? Propositions. That means teiyang, but I don't know. Let's see. Matter. Project enterprise. Unpropitious direction. Ankensatsu. Okay. So if we say yami ga nebukai anken, it's a matters deep rooted in darkness. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing any analysis, but let's do a little bit here. Yami ga nebukai anken. A case with deep darkness.
闇が根深い案件
A case with deep
어둠이 뿌리 깊은 안건.
어둠이 뿌리 깊은 안건. Alright.
とがだんだん明らかになってきましたね。
Oh. So as he's watching these people talk about it, he's seeing that more and more, gradually, it's becoming obvious, 明らかになってきた, that this is a matter deep-rooted in darkness, this doping thing, right?
というのも木戸さん、はい、K1 ファイターの木戸さんが、動画を出しておりましたが、
So this fighter named Kido, he's a K1 fighter. He put out a video, 動画. You'll hear that Japanese will, hang on, sorry. I didn't mean to disappear like that, guys. My powers.
あのー
Sometimes they happen when I'm typing.
木戸さんは、2017年2017年の11月
Oh, that's interesting that he that's kind of funny. He said Nisen Jushinen. And the moment that he said that, I said, oh, that's interesting. You don't hear Jushinen so much. You hear Junananen. Then he corrected it. He didn't correct it, but he restated it with Junananen. Let's listen to that again.
2017年2017年の11月に木村稔と K1 で対戦しておりまして、でここ木戸さん負けてるんですけども、ここから木戸
Okay, so he fought this Kido guy in November of 2017, and he lost to the guy that was doping, right?
さんが、木村フィリップ稔はドーピングを、やってるんじゃないかっていうのをここで、異議を唱えてるんですね。あれおかしい。
And this is the first time that it came out that maybe this guy, this Minoru guy, is doping. So Igi o no, this is a phrase I want to look up, and then we'll end right here because I don't want to do a full analysis.
っていうのをここで、異議を唱えてるんです。
Igi o tonaeru. So Igi, I believe, means opposite opinion. That's my guess. Igi, because E is different, differing Igi. I don't know tonaeru. I'm tonaeru. I've heard it, but I don't know how to translate it. Meaning, just meaning. Igi. Oh no, it's this one. Sorry. Objection. This is a different kanji. So Igi, he protested. So I said differing opinion. I call that a good translation. Tonaeru. So what would make sense? Now this is how I do thinking like this. Well, if I know that igi means objection, what verb goes with igi? Tonaeru. Proposed, pushed, tonaeru. Let's go back and look at the kanji just for a second. So it's mouth and two sons. Don't know if that helps me. But because mouth is in it, I'm imagining it's a statement type thing. So let's say it just means stated. Let's just guess that it means stated. Tonaeru. That's my guess. Oh, that's tanaeru. Sorry, my bad. Tonaeru. Recite, chant, cry, yell, shout. Preached. Insisted. Oh, tonaeru is insist. I like that. Insisted that it was a rice field. He insisted the significance.
ですね。あれおかしいだろ、検査しろよっていう。
He said it's something strange. Investigate. All right, but anyway, I like this guy, and I love. He's one of my favorite YouTubers because he keeps it real. Like I really like him out of the Japanese. It's funny that I don't recommend him a lot. Like I literally did a whole video the day where I recommended something Gakuen. Oh, I just can never remember their damn name recently. Something Gakuen. Something Yuda Gakuen. Yuda Gakuen. Tamayuda. I couldn't remember the. Like I recommend these guys because they're funny, but he's better in terms of learning because he's speaking. Now he also speaks with a high level of education. Okay.
デート代って男性が全部おごるべきですよね。
デート代って男性が全部おごるべきですよね。So you're saying the cost of a date, a guy should pay for it all, right?
皆さんは女の子とデートするときにデート代どうしてますか？
What do you guys all do when you date a girl for the date money?
僕の考えとしては
For what I think is
割り勘っていうのはありえなくて、
doing Dutch pay, that's what Waricon is like. Splitting the bill, it's not possible for me.
男性がデート代を全ておごるべきだと思うんですよ。ってい
I
う
believe that a man should pay for everything on the date.
のもね、女の子は美容室に行ったりだとかネイルをしたりだとか、
Like a girl, she's gonna go get her hair done. She's gonna get her nails done.
日々の美容にかけるお金、これがやっぱすごいかかっていると思うんですよね。
I think they spend a lot of money on these daily things to keep themselves pretty.
一緒にデートする時になるべく可愛い格好でいたい、そういう思いでお金をかけてくれてると思うんですよ。
So I feel like they're paying money to try to be cute all the time.
なんでデートしてる時にかかるお金、そういうのは全部男性がおごる。
So men should pay for all the money that occurs on the date.
なんでそう思うかっていうと、
And the reason why I say that is
こうデートをしていてね、女性からもらえるものってあるじゃないですか。
because when you date, there's something you can get from the girl, right?
例えば一緒に過ごす幸せな時間
For example, a happy time when you're together.
とか、見た目を可愛くしてきてくれたからそれを見ることによって心が癒されるとかで、
And because they have spent all this time to try to look cute when you look at them, your heart can relax. You can be relaxed when you look at her.
デートが終わった後にその後にちょっと
And when the date ends, you can
エッチなことができる
you can have sex.
とか、そういうそのギブアンドテイクの精神だと思うん
Right. I think it's like a give and take mentality here.
ですよ。向こうも与えてくれてる、だからこちらも与える、
So they're going to give to me, therefore I should give to them as well.
だからこそいい関係が築いていけるんじゃないかなと思うんですよね。
So I think that's how we can have good
で
relations.
今日はちょっと一緒にデート行くんですけど、
So I'm going to be going on a date today,
デート代全部おごります。
and I'm going to pay for everything on this date.
だから全部おごって損なことないっていうのをちょっと皆さんに伝えたいんです。
And so what I want to relay to you is that even if I pay for everything, I'm not going to lose anything.
じゃあちょっとりなちゃんと早速デートに行ってきます。
So now I'll be going immediately right now, with no delay, on this date with Rina-chan. Now, what's funny about this is that's the setup for his joke, for the whole thing that these guys always do. By the way, that was actually a really good learning amount of Japanese. I like what he did there. He's also funny, but he's supposed to be the guy that likes the girl, and she's the girl that he has his delusions that they're dating. This is the whole skit on this channel, and she is like, but we're not dating all the time. And I love her expressions when she does this. We'll watch a little bit more of this just for fun.
あ、こんにちは。
おまた。
So this face that she always makes, like, oh hey, oh hi, you know, it's like I just love her face, the face that she makes. She's such a good actress. And to be fair, I don't know if these guys are dating. They probably are married. I have no idea, but they're with a famous comedy company in Japan called Yoshimoto Kogyo.
やめてください、第一声で。セバで言ってほしいです、できれば。
Wait. What did she say? She said, "Stop it with the first say." Maybe he called her Rina and not her last name San. I'm not exactly sure.
あ、こんにちは。
おまた。
Omata. Okay, I've made you wait. So basically, he made this really short, super informal Japanese. I don't know what daisei means. So I'm gonna look it up. It must be something to do with level of speaking. So the relationship level. Is it daisei? First word said, oh, stop it with the first word said daisei. First thing out of your mouth. Inaugural address, first tone, Chinese level. Okay, all right.
やめてください、第一声で。
Stop it from that first words that you say. I don't know what he did. It was the omata. Oh, okay. Maybe because, okay, maybe, and I don't know. This is just a joke. Maybe I haven't picked up on. I'm thinking he's saying omata se shimashita. I've made you wait. But mata means your lap, and he's putting a honorific on it. Omata. Let me just actually look up mata instead of just mata. Yeah. I'm guessing that's what it is. He's done that. Okay, you guys all see this, right? You see this? Omata. I didn't know that exactly meant that. I always thought it meant just like that area of the body. I didn't know it meant, oh, it is right there, the area. Okay, so omata. There you go. So that's the joke.
おまた。
やめてください、第一声で。
Wow, but we learned daisei, didn't we? That's a new word, daisei. Like, I'm going to try to use that tomorrow. Daisei wa sore? That's your first words? Like, daisei wa nani? Sore daisei to shite wa dou imi? Like, what do you mean to say that during your first words? And I'm going to try to remember to do it to, oh, she's probably watching. Uematsu Yuki-san's coming tomorrow. We're going to have lunch. I'm going to try to remember to say that. This is how I practice Japanese. This is how I find the usage of things, right? In any language I do this, I immediately try to use it. So that's what I'm going to do. Daise, the first words that you say. Yeah, nice.
世話で言ってほしいです。
By the way, I'm going to say that even though it wouldn't be weird if she said konnichiwa or whatever she would say, right?
やめてください第一声で。世話で言ってほしいです。できれば。
At least say up to say, omatase. And I think it's really just because you can say omata to be short, but it also could mean that female genital area.
ちょっとあれだな、遅れちゃったからさ、
はい
ちょっと申し訳ないなと思って本当に。
あ、
Yeah, I felt because I was late, I felt really bad. So that's the thing that you say when you're late. You say, omatase shimashita, I have made you wait.
全然大丈夫ですよ。
りなちゃん本当に。
はい。
おまた。
I knew it! That's exactly what he's doing. Look, he pans down after saying omata again. Okay? So, you know.
してんですか。それは本当にそれになっちゃうから。
あ、せい。
世話
So he's adding, say. Okay.
で言ってください。
あ、ごめんごめん。
Just say up until say, please.
って
あ、ごめん
難し
ごめん。
い。もう嫌なんですけど。
I'm already not disliking this.
もう帰りたいんですけど。
I
いや
already
でも
want
本
to
当
go home.
春で、
はい。
気温が
So it says, first let's bring the mood up by speaking with lightly. He says, and then he's like, so it's spring and the temperature is
過ごしやすくて、
easy to be in.
うん、
I just love the face that she makes. I'm such a fan of the faces that she makes.
と天気も良い。
And the weather's also good. Just look at how uncomfortable she is. I love it.
お日柄で。
ね、寝に帰ったりしたらどうですか。
Why don't you go home and get some sleep?
一旦頭回ってないですけど。
Your head isn't really rotating, is it?
ああ、まあちょっと
心配になりますよ
とりあえずちょっと今
I'm a little bit worried about you.
日のデート一緒に楽しもうね。
話もできないなんて。
So basically, look, this is 18 minutes. Go watch it. But essentially, what's going to happen is he's going to treat her. I haven't seen this, but I guarantee this type of humor is he's going to constantly, every time he pays for something, he's going to say, I will be, no, it's okay. I'll be paying. I feel like I watched the outtakes of this at one point. I feel like seems a little bit familiar. But when did this go up? I haven't watched them in a bit. 4 months ago. Yeah, it's possible. I've already seen. But I promise you at the end, he'll be like, all right, let's go to the Love Hotel. She's like, what? Well, I paid for the date. It's only fair. That's what's going to happen. All right. A lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Let's see. How easy is it for me to go back to the phone cam? Nice. I just got to build a little shortcut for it. Let's get the music back. Oh, I can do that over here now. Oh, this is so much better. All right, let's go back up. Ginger Gaiden, that's who it is. Ginger Gaiden, I think, will be here tomorrow. So if you're a Ginger Gaiden fan, I believe she's going to be meeting, like, I feel like it's a Ginger Gaiden meeting more than a George meeting, because it's probably going to be Ginger Gaiden, her fans, me, and Yuki. It might just be 3 people, which would be fun as well, to be fair. All right, I don't know who's coming. It's tomorrow at 5. Steve Ricky says, George, I am English and aware that most native English Japanese speakers would fail a high-level English test. What JLPT level do you think a native Japanese person would pass without pre-practice? I don't know. Japanese are very literate. I think they could pass JLPT 1. That's just my thought. But I mean, I have this impression of Japanese people as being smart, because I'm always asking them questions about their language, and even when they can't answer. But normally, by the way, I don't ask people that I don't think can answer. I think they all can answer. Do they know the details, like the super details? No, but could they do a fill in the blank, or like a choose 1 out of 4? What makes sense here? Yeah, they could pass it, because isn't that like a multi-choice question for the most part? Shimewaza, who, by the way, I think has a lot of knowledge, okay, says they'd pass N1 no problem. They probably wouldn't get a perfect score, but they'd pass it. And they're saying, I agree. Because even Koreans, after a year of studying Japanese can pass N1. Blue says, oh man, I showed my coworker stuff from N2 grammar book and we have it at work. And she was like, Nani kore? That is a common reaction. But if you saw what they teach in TOEFL, in the teaching English as a foreign language stuff, TOEFL and TOEIC, you'd be like me. I saw it and I was like, what's this? We don't ever say this. Dude, did I take a picture of it? I took a picture of it. Hang on. I'm going to read you what a 13-year-old was doing at his Kumon Juku. It's gonna blow your mind. Hang on. Oh, did I take a picture or not? Oh, maybe I didn't take a picture of it. Son of a biscuit. Hang on. Okay, I might have. Hang on. There's still pictures of them. No. Let me scroll through. Give me a second. Oh, come on. It was so dumb. I should ask him to send me a picture of it so we can talk about it tomorrow. He was proud of this level of English, but I was like, dude, I tried to be nice and not say, hey, this is dumb, but it was dumb. It was really dumb. Hang on. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I didn't actually take a picture of it, it looks like. Oh, you know what? I got it on my other camera is probably what I did. Nyobo is another way to say it. Yeah, Baratna, for a wife. I still don't use that one. Isn't kanai more like housewife? No, that would be shufu. Yeah, it can just mean wife. Kanai ga, my wife. 100%. Shufu is housewife. Sam R says, do you still get pretz and go-go tea? I do not. That is not a... Now, I still get tea, but I don't get go-go tea. I get oi ocha now. Also, weirdly enough, I don't think... It's been quite some time since I've been through Narita. Like, I got to maybe the last two times... Or the last few times I've been to Japan was through Busan, was coming through Fukuoka, and they just don't have things like that at the airport. I get out, I get on a bus and I go to my hotel. But the go-go tea, which was, this was, by the way, if you don't want to know where that's from, hang on, I'm going to show you. Let's go to Adventures in Asia channel. Okay, boom. Nope, wrong one. Boom. Okay. So in here, if I go to Japan in 2004. All right, we'll just watch a little bit so it's not like completely dark. Like not dark meaning like you don't know what's happening. So this is from 2004. That was my Japanese teacher, by the way. My wife also shows up. Here we go.
すごい眩しいんだよ。
今から日本に3週間行くんだけど、怒りの期待と不安のことを言ってください。
朝からお腹痛いです。お腹痛いよ。ジョージ早く帰ってきてください。
はい。で今度はもう一回聞きますよ。
はい
期待と不安。
期待はあんまりお金使わないで。不安は何部使うんだろう。それからみんな無事で。家のみんなとジョージと心配事がいっぱいあるからお腹が痛くなります。
そうですか。
はい。
お金はあんまり使わないので。
あんまりってどれぐらい？カメラ2台に、それからあとなんだっけ？
いろいろ。
エロエロ。いっぱいお姉ちゃんと遊んだやつを撮ってまた
今許可くれましたね。許可くれましたね。はい。
儲けてください。
はい。わかり
She just gave me permission to take a lot of video with girls.
ました。
All right, let's jump ahead to actually arriving. Here we go.
It will not fall.
Right now, my expectations are to get some ramen, some beer, and call it a night.
What happened, Will? Did it break? How are you gonna push it, man? The handle. She knew what was happening. Now it's good to go. Will, you can't even get the cart thing right.
Sorry.
That's Will.
Are you ready for the traditional
I'm ready. Let's do
pretz
it.
crackers and gogo no kocha? Are you ready? Now there's milk tea and there's straight tea, depending on what they have. Gogo tea. You gonna go with the straight?
I want the milk.
Want the milk? ミルクあります？ミルクの方。No milk.
Oh, well. Looks like it's store.
これは僕の方で別々で。ティーいくらですか？
こっち別々みんな。
別々で。
はい。じゃあこちらが260、365円。
これは1本ずつね。
こちらが235円。
235円。That means you give them the big coin and get change.
これが130円。
No, no, no. You didn't get pretz.
Oh, I have to get pretz too?
I'm sure I made him very uncomfortable in that moment with my. Let's just give him the big coin. What you do?
はい、
Also,
260、
これも。
235円。
She doesn't speak English, dude. She doesn't speak
I don't,
English.
I don't speak Japanese very
What's
well
with the
either.
also? It's koremo from now on, okay?
Koremo. Okay.
It's too late now. You're handing her the money and
Well,
saying
no,
koremo.
I'm learning from you.
You've ruined it.
I want to go home.
And we missed your train because you couldn't get koremo right.
I wonder how much it costs now to go to
First
Chile.
train ticket. All right, well, go ahead.
Oh, I just put in the 5.
That's okay.
The
It'll light up
exciting,
when you have enough.
the exciting channel.
Dude, push it with your finger, not your nail.
Sorry, I'm used to my machine at work.
The tradition.
The tradition.
There it is, the tradition, guys.
Pretz.
Sounds good right now, to be honest.
Let's get that first bite on camera, okay? Go ahead.
Rishi. It is good.
See? I told you.
You know what I get now is jagariko. Now that I remember, I get jagariko and maybe some milk tea. That's kind of what I do now. Go-go milk tea or oi ocha, but I always get jagariko. That's my thing now. Like potato sticks.
Now wash that down with some gogo no kocha. You don't look too convinced. Go ahead.
Iced tea. Okay.
Yeah,
I
slightly
love,
sweetened.
I love iced tea.
I mean, it is just iced tea.
Wow. Just like Grandma used to make.
All right, that's enough of that. That's where that. Oh my God, that's where that question comes from. So no, I don't do that anymore, and not that exact version of it. Shimewaza says, at Blue, I think he's just being modest. Most Japanese people will get a very high score on N2 and N1, just like we would get a very high score, but not perfect on the TOEIC test. Would we, though? Like, if you look, I think Americans are more dumb than Japanese people, to be fair. Baxter said, you said Oksan in the Osaka River Tour video, and you were if you were wondering. I've said it a lot. Oksan's the way that I talk. Watashi no Oksan wa Nihonjin desu. I would say that for sure. That's probably what I said in the Osaka Riverboat Tour as well. Did your guide-in? I hope you come tomorrow. I think you said you were. I will see you tomorrow at 5. Jinja. Are you actually redhead pretty much, or are you brown? I don't know. I have to look at let me look at your video. Look at a recent video here. Ginger. Guide-in. Pretty sure you're redhead. At least your anime is. Oh, yes, okay.
A few weeks ago, I attended
Now I remember.
Comiket, which is Japan's biggest otaku event down in Tokyo. And
Odaiba.
as I was there, I was scrolling through Twitter's hashtag Comiket, which is what a lot of Japanese people and Comiket attendees use to talk about their experiences of Comiket on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. As I was scrolling
It's Twitter X to text.
through, I found a story about an individual who was sitting in one of the restaurants at the venue and was overhearing a group of North Americans, presumably, talking about how conventions in America were not the same as conventions in Japan, and that they were actually really disappointed in their time at Comic-Con and really let down by it. And I think it comes down to
be fair, that looked just like Anime Expo. That didn't look any different than Anime Expo. That was interesting.
expectations. A lot of people don't know that there are a lot of differences between Western anime events, anime conventions, and anime events and conventions in Japan. And I think you have to think about, what do you get out of going to conventions in your own country? What is
You get to see a lot of hot girls in cosplay. I'm just throwing that out there for why you go.
it that you like about it? Why
And
do you
if
go?
you're in Japan, there's a lot more Japanese girls. Therefore, it is a superior event, people. Gosh.
Go there. For some people, it's about making friends and meeting others. It's
That too. That's what I meant to say, Ginger. It's always about making friends.
buying things, it's buying art, it's cosplaying, it's photography, it's going to panels, it's meeting guests.
By the way, that topic that I said earlier, Ginger Gaiden has a completely different view of Japan because of her red hair and stunningly blue or green eyes. I don't know what they are. These are very much a game changer for her. She is a circus act for Japanese people. She's like, what? Look at that. Whoa, I don't even, can I touch it? Let me touch your hair. She gets that. They don't even know. I bet Japanese children ask her if it's real. Do you have color contacts in? They don't understand. I know black people get their skin touched. I know black people have asked if they are sweet. Do they taste like chocolate? I'm almost certain that has happened. And tell me if you're black watching this, if that's happened, because I feel like someone has told me that a kid had said that before.
There are elements of a lot of these things in Japanese conventions, in Japanese anime events, but they're all very different than what you're used to in America. I started attending anime conventions in the state of Virginia in 2011, and I kind of stopped obviously going to them when I moved to Japan.
When I got cooler. When I was not cool, I used to go to the anime conventions, and then I got cool and I stopped. I'm just joking. That was a joke that I made at the anime convention. It was a fun one.
Started going to Japanese.
I would say I would go up to the people and go, what character are you? I'm not sure because I'm cool. I would say that to them. Like, I don't watch anime. I'm too cool, so I don't know what character you are.
Conventions, and yeah, what do you know? They're very different. I personally still really like Japanese anime events, but if I'm honest, I have to say that I prefer Western events. I prefer anime events in America. And that's not to say that I will stop going to events in Japan. I like them for a different reason than I like going to events in America. But I kind of want to explain to you guys some of the differences between the two and why Japanese conventions might not be your thing. I'll be honest, I sometimes see people walking
Are you guys ready?
around Anime Japan or Comic-Con, and they're looking pretty disappointed, not really buying anything. They don't have smile.
I wonder what they're expecting. That's interesting. If you want to know more, Ginger Gaiden channel. Learn more. All right, that's Ginger Gaiden. Hopefully she'll be there tomorrow. I am excited to meet Ginger Gaiden. Where was I? Blue says, I like to think I know the guy pretty well, but maybe he just didn't want to hurt my feelings. Okay, wait, I gotta figure out what did I miss when Blue was talking. Oh, man, I showed my coworker stuff from an N2 grammar book. We have our at work, and he said, what, nani kore? I like to think I know the guy pretty well, but maybe he just didn't want to hurt my feelings. Oh, I see. Like, no, generally I'm almost pretty positive that it's difficult for Japanese people to think that that's good. Like, the stuff in N1 for sure is just as crazy as the stuff I saw in TOEIC. Because I go to bookstores all the time. And if I'm in Korea, I'm always buying books. I'm not going to buy any this time, I promise. But I will definitely pick up that Toei and Tofa and I'll be like, this is absolutely crazy stuff. Ginger watched my JFZ video a few hours ago. Did she? Did she on a live? Wait, hang on. Does she have lives? I don't think I've ever seen her be live. Oh no, there's no lives on her channel. I don't see her. I don't see her, guys, watching my video. Chelsea Bear says, oh, hey, Tim. Tim's who I was hanging out with today. Fun time today, Tim. By the way, Tim, I showed your girlfriends to Mike. Did you see that? Let me show you something that Tim sent me. Hang on. So Tim told me that recently he's fallen in love with these girls right here. I had him send me this picture so I could send it to Mike. And I told Mike that Tim was going to be hanging out with these girls later on. And by the way, they're not real. They're AI generated. And they are absolutely stunning, right? And I sent them to Mike and I said, apparently Tim's hanging out with these girls because Tim does hang out with a lot of girls. It's like a running joke, right? And so I sent him and I was like, hey, check these. And he's like, yeah. Did he make them with Mid-Journey? He knew right away they were not real. But yeah, they're just look at how real she looks. Look at how the freckles on her, like right here, like how real does that look? That little hair, the little hair being messed up, not perfect, like right here, right? Oh my God, I just now realized there's like a nipple showing through. It's crazy how realistic that looks. Like what's happening here? Like something happened on her top here, this white line thing. I don't know what that is, but it's just crazy. And there's like clouds in the background. I mean, this is some of the best AI work I've seen. Yeah, Mike knew right away. Shimewaza says, Shibata is nuts. Sometimes he is nuts. I agree. Melanie says, hey, of course you started streaming when I went outside for a walk with my son. Of course I did. I have a camera on your house and I was watching and I was like, now's my chance. Shimewaza says, I'd like to see you do a collaboration with Joe Brogu. Don't know who that is. He's a successful Japanese YouTube from Osaka. Yeah. Look, to be fair, I don't do collaborations. Although I will be probably meeting up with Tikio-san, but I just don't do collaborations. Kosuru is also to pluck up your courage. Oh. Interesting. I don't think he was saying that though. I feel like but to be fair, I don't know. ちょっとこするんだけど, yeah, maybe. I don't know, Andre. George, you're right. He's saying kosuru, it can mean to talk sarcastically about someone. So agitate is pretty good. Yep, that was what I thought. Like, because you kosuru something means you're, agitating it. That's what it means. Blue says, I like to watch Kimagure cook, but sometimes he just talks way too fast for me to follow. What's the name of the tiny screen you got there? I don't know what it's called. And it's actually, this one's not as tiny. Like, look at how actual big it is. It's actually pretty big. It's 12.6 inches. But I love, oh my God, it's so nice to have a little control, like a little control screen here for me to actually, like I could start the music again without like having to like find out what screen it's on. It's like always on this screen. The other screen that I had was a little bit smaller, but it's not like get the Verta screen. It doesn't have a name like this. It's just like 12.6 inch IPI. I looked for it online. I couldn't find it. I found on Amazon USA the covers for it, but not like I found screen protectors for it. That was it. I couldn't actually find the screen itself. This one cost $160. The other one cost $100 that I had yesterday. All right. Kakutogi is martial arts fighting. I'm always behind. I apologize, Shimewaza. Sorry, not Kakutogi. Oh yeah, Kakutogi, yeah. And Kakutoka, as you say, is a fighter. Well, look, Shimewaza, you know a lot more about these things than I do. To in this case means something, or Yami, sorry. In this case means something not on the up and up. Something very shady or bad. See, I'm telling you, Shimewaza-san needs to start it. Why don't you start a channel, Shimewaza? Seriously. Blue says, oh hey, speaking of Dan Dan and Don Don, are there differences between them? Well, dan is a step, and I feel like it's more gradual than don don, because don is like boom, boom, boom. It feels bigger, but I don't know. That's just a guess. Don don. Don don feels like it's progressively going faster than dan dan. But I bet a Japanese person might not be able to say that. But maybe they would, because dan dan feels more gradual, and don 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 feels just more aggressively. That's my guess. Igi is objection in court. When the lawyer wants to say objection, they say igi ari. Proclaim, Callistos Kali for that other word. Tonaeru was the guess, was proclaim. Sorry, I'm very behind. So igi o tonaeru is to raise an objection. Very nice. Shimewaza coming in very clutch. Too much after the time because I wasn't watching the comments. Oh, that's right. Gu, right? Is it gu for sing? Gu. Gu. Is it gu? Chingu. Gu. I think that's gu, right? I'm not gonna look it up. Shibata has the best intro music and animation. It's well done. Melanie says, since you talked about ice cream yesterday, is there an ice cream flavor that you can only buy in Japan that you like? Nope. Also, do you usually buy Japanese snacks? Not really. For your wife to bring with you home? No, never. I never do that. Not. First of all, I go to Korea for like a month before I get there. I am buying makeup. I always end up buying makeup related things like face packs and stuff like that. Not from Japan though, but from Korea, because I'm normally in Korea right before I go back. But I do have a order in from my oldest daughter to get her something. Have I stocked up on cool t-shirts in Japan? I did buy 2 cool t-shirts. That's where it ends though. I already have too many shirts. Oh my god, what do you do? What is this, like paste question after question? Do I like to read books in Korean since it's easier to read compared to Japanese? I do. I love Korean way more than Japanese. Dai issei, the first thing out of one's mouth. Shimewaza, yes, he's playing on the double meaning. Shimewaza, do you even need me? Why do you even watch these things? Like, you know way more about this sort of thing than me. Another word with a similar meaning is, with Dai issei, is kai ko ichiban. Since it's Yoji Jukugo, it might be, it's a bit more formal, but I hear it a lot. I'm so saying omata to people tomorrow. Omata. But what you should do is like go like this. Imagine there's a girl in front of you. Omata. Seishimashita. I'm doing that tomorrow with Yuki. Actually, hopefully she's not in here and she doesn't see my joke. I didn't know kumon was an international thing. Kumon is Japanese. It is. But they also have schools in Japan, America. History of Football says, I'm in Tokyo, but I'm scared to meet George because I'm a terrible student. Oh, shut up. Come hang out with me. History of Football. You're going to regret it if you don't. When you see the footage, if I release it. Melanie says, why Pretz though? Why not Pocky? Because it's chocolate. You got a beautiful view out of your window. I do, right? Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I do. It is a great view. That's why I left the window open. That's why I turned all the lights out. And actually, I like this lighting. I have one light on right now. It's kind of sweet. Mr. M4 Russian R1 Ohm says, mentira fala y entender japonés para ese cara mente. Which, as we know, is Portuguese. And it means speak with understand Japanese for this guy mente, is what that means. That's what that means. Lie. Lie. Speak W. Understand Japanese for this guy mente. I feel like I need to block you. Oh, Kara is scammer. I'm guessing that's he is a scammer. Dear and scammer. I don't even understand when I translate your... Oh, now it's Italian detected. Kem a scammer? Hang on. I'm looking this up one by one. Kem, that's also Italian, but... Kem, I don't know what that means. All right, well, that was super fun. Yeah, it's all about making friends. Hechi Okami says, for the anime conventions. No, I think he said hi to Ginger and then said to George, I watched your JFZ videos a few hours ago. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, I don't think he meant ginger. Well, you do get better at English because I got confused. Ronin says hello from Vegas. I kind of wish I was back there. I miss Vegas. Shimewaza-san says, nah, you're an order of magnitude better at explaining things than me. Well, that's nice that you say that. Hey, George, great job as always. Just a quick question from Fight Matrix. What's your interpretation of this, if you can?
I'm not sure you can do it, but if you can, what does this mean? I mean, to be fair, you're not that good.
That's not what I meant, George. You know what I'm okay. このアプリで頑張ってる人と高め愛 Oh my god, I don't know what that means. 高め愛応援し合いたいです。ファイト Alright. So people that are doing their best on this application, I want to support them. Like I want to give them support. 応援する shiaitai, like back and forth between each other, right? I don't know what takame ai means. So takame all by itself means on the high side. Takame ai. So I don't know if that's like a thing that I've just never seen. Or maybe it's ai oen xiao. So ai oen might be mutual support. Let's see if takame is a thing that I'm just not aware of. Nope. It is not. Let's see what Deep L says. I want to enhance and support each other with people who are working hard with this app. Woo-hoo. I don't know why Faito means woo-hoo. Here's what shows here. Now, I want to try to isolate this. Raise each other up. Takame. I'm guessing I Owen's a thing? Supporting each other. Yeah, but it would be written with the like aite. Is that a thing? Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen takame ai oen shiaitai. I'm now wondering if that was either I don't know it or an American who's really good in Japanese wrote it. All right. Shimewaza-san says, because you're funny as hell. I don't know why I keep saying son in your name. You know what I'm saying? Blue, Hangul is amazing writing, is an amazing writing system. I wish the Japanese did away with kanji like the Koreans did. Kazuba says, このノートに名前を書かれた人間は死ぬ. Ah, that is a quote from Death Note, is it not? That is, people who write their name in this note die. With their name written in this note. 各人物の顔が頭に入っていないと効果がない. There's no effect if the person's name is not in their head, in the person who wrote it's head. ゆえね, and consequentially, 同姓同名の人物には is that いつに効果は得られない. You can't have the same effect on two people with the same name, same last name and first name. All right, now let's throw that into, see how close I was? And we'll throw back this. It is only effective if you have the face of the person you're writing in your mind. Hence, it cannot be universally effective with people with the same name and the same surname. Hence is consequentially, yueni, which I learned from a game. Takame out, to raise each other up. Okay, good, thank you. Similar to oen shiao. Oh, so it's takame ai, comma, oen shiaitai. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's definitely a Japanese person, I would say, that wrote that one, probably. Takame ai. It's like they're doing two actions. I want to raise them up and support each other mutually. Fight Matrix said, sorry, not implying you're not good. That was my implication. No, you were saying, if you can, like if you don't mind, is what you were saying. I know that. I was joking around with you. I do a thing where I take words and I twist them to make it look like a person is saying a bad thing because I think it's funny, so I do it. I always like to make people feel uncomfortable about the things that they said, even though they didn't have those intentions in their mind. I'm sorry, I'm a bad human being. Hey, Okami, hang on. I don't have a quick link for this, so I apologize. ChatGPT's as well as Bing AI's translation are far better than that of DeepL's. I agree. I'm kind of doubting that, but all right. No. They are pretty good, unfortunately. I wish they sucked, but they don't. Well, guys, I feel like that was a decent round. We learned some Japanese. We talked about the benefit of being not so handsome. Now, to be fair, you don't want to be ugly, but if you're not as beautiful and handsome, I do feel there's benefit to that. But that's it. And so I'm going to leave you now, and I will be heading to the bath downstairs because it's a fantastic onsen down there. And then I'm going to go to get some food and chill. And I will see you, hopefully all of you, every single one of you, not just Ginger Gaiden and Yuki-san, will be there tomorrow. But I have no expectations because I'm definitely a dying YouTuber. I'm losing my influence. But I will see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.